as you've seen. So our today's speaker is Kunda Abram. Kunda Abram is a committed education professional and humanitarian advocate with a first class honors BA in education. He currently teaches at the Bible Baptist Secondary School and has previously taught at the Catholic University of South Sudan and Future Garden Secondary School in Juba. Kunda has worked with the International Rescue Committee, which is IRC, under the Women Protection and Protection Department in Ajungtu, where he supported efforts to address gender-based violence and empower vulnerable women and children. Kunda's experience also spans or accelerated secondary education, peer counseling, and also monitoring and evaluation. So, driven by a passion for community impact and quality learning, Kunda continues to champions education and protection for all. So let's welcome our speaker for today. Yeah, Kunda, you can take the floor.
Thank you so much for you guys having me, and it was so kind of you, kind introduction, and really appreciate that. And I hope our listeners and people who are watching us get to learn something from today's session. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Risala, if you can hear me.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Joshua, and thank you, Kunda. It's really our pleasure to have you on the call, and we can't wait to see what you are going to share with our listeners. And yeah, we are happy to have you. So thank you so much. And to everyone who just joined, we are glad to have you on our call. And we have a nice dish that we prepared for you guys. So it's just going to be kind of interactive session. And we are basically going to just talk about things that are affecting our girls today. And we are trying our best to educate them. So you are welcome. This is, okay, to just give an overview, this is SheCanLearn team. So we just thought of having this, our first podcast, to teach our community. So thank you so much. And back to you, Joshua.
Yeah, as you all know that there are a lot of challenges that are facing our communities, especially girls, those who are in the refugees camp, those who are the communities, but they are unable to go to school. So we came up with an idea of SheCanLearn, whereby we want to put ourselves in the shoes of the young girl who has the potential, but she's unable to reach this level. Yeah, because of the number of challenges that our speaker is going to highlight. Yeah. So in the meantime, I will be admitting people. I think, Risala, you can just go ahead with the question that we prepared for our speakers to educate us a bit about what is this girl child and what are the challenges that they are facing and how can we address them.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Joshua. To start with, Konda, you are highly welcome again, and it's just going to be an interactive kind of session. So if you feel like you cannot even answer the question, I mean, our audience are here. I believe we can also, give them some assignments to answer some questions as well. So it's just an interactive session. And I will start off with the first question. And before the first question, as you guys know that the topic of today's discussion is empowering girls. Yeah, we are looking at the health and well-being, and we'll also highlight some of the challenges that our refugee girls face today in the refugee camps. And we divided this session into two main subtopics. So the first topic is going to be about sexual and reproductive health, and it's basically about the health education, yeah. And then the second one will be around the mental health and well-being. And now, to start with the first question, Kunda, I will just want to hear from you. How can girls protect themselves from early pregnancies? And what are the things you think our communities need to know about bringing up the teenage girls in our communities? So just draw it to a perspective of you being, I believe you were once in a Juangtok, and I'm happy you worked with IRC. So I just want to hear, so what do you think about things we need to teach them about teenage pregnancies, and then how can community educate them outside there? So you are highly welcome. You are on mute. Sorry, Kunda.
Yeah,
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
We can hear
can hear
you.
you.
Okay. Okay. So to start with it first, I think we have to understand the context where we're basing our discussions is we're basing naturally in the students' context of upbringing a girl child and the families of how girls are raised in our communities in Sudan as general, whether it's south or north. And also basically to the people who are listening and who are not from African context, sometimes what we're saying might not look real, but we're talking on the experiences of the African girl child and specifically the Sudanese girl child. So I want to start off by, first of all, we have to look at the patriarchy, the parenting system for these girls from home. Sometimes girls, they choose to get pregnant because they think somebody somewhere will offer them better life and better home and belonging than they have in their own houses. So how about we start with parents and we address this parenting of girls in a better way, giving them a home that she can have trouble somewhere outside, but she still comes back home. And we start with mothers. Mothers can stop this by making their girls friends, not just a mother-daughter relationship, but they can actually have a mother-daughter friendship. That anything that happens with these girls, teenage girls, the first person to know about that could be mom. So if we start off by that, that it means anything that the girl starts out there will first of all come back to mom and say, I met so and so, and we're hitting off or we have something. So the mom will be able to track the child at that stage. So this is the first thing that we can look into and say, okay, if we can bridge this gap that we raise kids just, oh, it's my child, she's a girl, she has to do this, without taking into consideration the psychological aspect of development of this child. If this child is given this knowledge at the beginning that, oh, you are my friend, so anything that happens and you have to come back to me. And when they come back to you as a parent, it will be nice when you don't ridicule them, you listen to them, because this is the stage that they need your advice. But then you have to advise them from a peer point, like a friend, not like a parent. So I think this is one thing. Then number two, I think sex education is very important. For example, teachers in schools, it will be better when we have sex education given out to young girls in schools, because it will help them. It will help them in terms of restructuring their health, and also it help them in terms of understanding their bodies and exactly what goes on with their bodies, because sometimes they're involved in this without knowing what is happening, without knowing where will it lead them to. So in schools, I think it is very important that we have sex education for girls, for teenage girls. And then also the society has to come out of this patriarchal system of parenting that girls have stricter rules and boys have stricter rules. And then when we have these stricter rules, these teenage girls will look for somewhere to call it home than the real home. So it will increase their chances of getting pregnant earlier and dropping out of the school. So the best way is, I think, it is parenting. That's one. We have to change the way we're parenting. Mothers have to take the initiative to create a relationship with their girls. And this will mean that the mothers have to be more friend to their girls at the earlier age than just a mother-daughter relationship. So this is the first thing that I will say, but also the society as a whole have a role to play in making sure that we stop this from happening. And also, then we have problems with refugee camps that is not the same like in a normal settlement. We have issues related with the experiences of these girls in the camps. Girls grow up, and we know that there are a lot of things that they need, maybe for themselves. And then there is somebody who is offering it at a trade price, like, if you do this, I give you that, and all that. So this is another problem. We will call on the UN agencies or the angels providing services to look into this, because if we need to keep girls in the school, we will have to make sure that the basic necessities that they need is provided to them. So if we provide this, we'll also reduce the chance of them looking for cheap alternatives, because they will be needing something which is necessary, but then if that thing is not there, it means they will get it from anyone who offers them for exchange of for their bodies. So this is another problem that we need to address. Yeah.
Okay. Kona, thank you so much. I learned a lot, and actually from your answer, you created another question. So I will leave the question that I have for now and maybe ask a follow-up question. You mentioned about the importance of sex education, which is very true. And you also did mention about parenting. A mother being a best friend to their daughter, right? And I wish our mothers had this, because if you look at African way of parenting, I mean, we are Africans, but you can literally tell how people do not have that relationship with their parents, right? So now my question is the trading part you mentioned. Don't you think our African mothers, if now, let's take an example of me being best friends with my mom, and then you come as Kunda, you want to propose to me. So involving that trade kind of process, my mom will see, you know, that how we visit people in Sudan. You have to buy something small, sugar and coffee, and you know how they like coffee, right? So don't you think we should, okay, what is your message to the parents, right? What do we tell them? Instead of taking coffee, they should rather keep that friendship with their kids. What is your mission? What is your message to them about this trading kind of businesses? Instead of taking coffee, don't you think there's something that we need to focus on for them to advise their daughters? And also that relationship, because I've seen in many of our households, the relationships are not very strong. So in this area of parenting, the relationship and the trading, like if we connect all of them, what do we do? Like, how do we tell people not to accept things for their kids to just be married off, but rather make their relationship very strong, and advise girls to focus in education rather than early marriages? So what do we do about that?
Okay, thank you for that question. I think it comes from marriage that is basically transactional. Parents want something, and then they have to marry off the daughter for that. But then when I was talking about the parenting aspect, where we need to create friendship, is basically because a lot of things that happen is that the self-esteem of girls in our societies are so low. They are taught from the beginning, you can't be good enough. I mean, the boy is better than you, and all that kind of stuff. But when I mention mothers, I'm saying if we have a society that raises girls and on the equal level with the boys, that says, oh, you can go out there and achieve anything that you want, you have the abilities, and the girl grows with that belief, that means a lot to them. And then if we have also mothers who are, even fathers who are good friends to their daughters, a daughter comes back home and tells you about a guy, because you're friends, no? So we'll be like, I met so and so, and Mr. So and so is coming. You see, parents normally, if you're friends with your daughters, you'll say, let that person come home. I want to see. So you'll get a chance to see that person as a parent, and then you'll get a chance to talk to that person who wants to get engaged to your daughter or involved in relationship with your daughter. You'll give them cordial advice, because it is the opportunity that you have to guide these two young people. And then also, it's not advisable that we have to trade our girls for finances or anything transactional. Why? Because we are trying to sell off the life 30, 40 years, 70 years, 100 years for something that can end only in months, years, or maybe so couple of years, and you're done with the dowry or all that. No, we're looking at building a society that girls are educated. When girls are educated, it means they have an opportunity, they have the power to empower the next generation. We have mothers who are educated, so they means that their next girls will be educated, and the next generation will also be carrying on the same. But then if we, even us as men, when you are educated and you say, oh, let me go off, get married to somebody from the village, what do you intend? Because there's certain things that we think we fear from the educated women. Maybe that's the perspective that is common to us. But what I mean here is that we wanted this relationship because it is very important, especially at the age of teenage girls. Teenagers need this relationship with their parents. They need to be valued. They need to be shown that this is always your home, this place, me as your mother, as your father, I'm your best friend. So if there's anything that you want, psychological support, psychosocial support, anything that you want, emotional support, you come. And when they come to us as parents, you're supposed to be supportive in terms of, okay, even if it is a mistake, assure them that, okay, you have to correct the mistake, but then it is already a mistake that is gone. So you don't ridicule kids, because you see, they are in the process that they are developing in all the areas, all domains of life, psychologically, emotionally, physically. So you need to give them this assurance that they can always come back to you. By this way, it means anything that happens with their life, it's easy for parents to track, because they're going to tell you everything. They're going to say, okay, this thing happened and that one happened, and you will be able now to track their progress in whatever things they're doing, and also be able to pinch the mistakes that they will be making. So I think my message to the parents will be that we're in the 21st century. Girls can do anything that boys can do, if not way better. So it's important that we have this knowledge that parents are very important in their kids' life, because it is the basis of the world. And the understanding of how the world works, it starts from home, from your parents. If the parents have brought up their kids in a better way, that means we have a better society, we have a better community. If we have taught your kid from young age as a girl that, I know, I believe in you, you can do anything, there's nothing that is impossible, I trust you, you will do that. And that way, it means we will have a community that is way better than we have now. And we have girls that are more confident in themselves, and they don't look for solutions away from themselves. They think like, okay, I can work this, I can figure this out. So they will not run to somebody for cheap help, but they will rather want to partnership with that person. And when they see that they can't benefit from that partnership in terms of building themselves, they get out of that. They don't go, okay, transactional. I give you this, you give me your body or something. No, they will be having a lot of self-esteem, because they believe that I can't trade my body for cheap things, items or something. So we'll reduce a big problem in our community. So I hope I've answered you.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much, Kunda. I like the fact you mentioned that our community need to know that what you men can do, we might even do better, And I like this so much, because if they know that we can do it better, then maybe they will encourage us to go to school, I'm one of the girls in our communities, and I feel like they will encourage us to go to school. And I was just thinking about something. What if we actually encourage our men to marry these girls that, guys, I'm not marketing myself, but I feel like, what if our men put pressure also on girls? Because I feel like you as a man going to school, you then go to the village and marry the girl, then girls definitely know that, oh, all I need is just to sit in the house, know how to cook and do other things. Then later, someone from somewhere will just come with their master's degree or with their degree and take me away. It doesn't matter. So I feel like our people should also know that it's not enough for girl to just, be raised in a way that she can cook, she can do better, she can go to school, and she can also do better than man. And I will jump questions because I feel like you covered most of the things, and I'm really happy about that. So we can leave the sex education.
Let me just come on that point that
Sure.
you just touch on that
Sure.
talks about setting a standard. I think it is important that when we set a standard in terms of okay, you've like men, you've graduated, you've had something going on like job, career, and all that. If you go back to your community, get married to the ones who are educated. I'm not saying that the ones who are not educated are not good wives or whatever. They are awesome. They are nice, good wives. They can be, and they can be great wives. But what I'm saying is that all the world we see is about the standard. So if you go back there, get married to the ones who are educated, you raise the level for those ones who are behind. So they get, okay, if I need better things, I also go do better things for myself, and then I meet somebody that is in that standard and like that. But then if we have a flat way that says, I have good life and then go get a wife from the village, for example, just like you mentioned. So it does not encourage the girls to go to school anyway, because they will be like, okay, I just have discipline and good manners, and yeah, I get good guy in the future, and then the guy will be provider and all that kind of stuff. So, but everybody needs their kids to have a good mother, not just good mother in terms of doing stuff at home, and no, good mother that trains up your kids in your absence, for example. So that is okay. And I just want to disclaim that I'm not saying girls from the village, they cannot become good wives. I said they can be awesome. Our mothers are great mothers. We can't say they're not educated, not that educated, but they're awesome. They brought us up well. What I'm saying is setting up a standard, which is very important in this context, because if we set that standard, we encourage also our young girls to go up, to go to school, study, work hard, and make sure that I'm not just going to sit down and wait for certain guy to come by like that. And also, they will have a big say in whatever happens in their marriages, in the way things are. But then if you sit there and you just get married to somebody, then you are only to be submissive, no, which reduces a lot of qualities that you can offer to the society. We need women who can really offer a lot of things to the society, because we know they have an ability to offer that. So if we don't want to see them just be there and say, I just want to be submissive. No. Even if we see that some of our cultures do not like women who are projective, who want to question things, they want to, but this is very important for communities who are progressive, who want to change history, who want to work out things, who want to progress. That is what we need. So I would love if we see that. Then also for men who will be listening to this, I don't discourage you getting married to any. You can choose anyone of your choice if you want to. That's not my problem. And my problem is just that we need to raise that standard and also help our girls have a bigger future. So that if you go now, you get married to a 15-year-old girl, 17-year, perhaps she's in primary school. So you've stopped her from school. That's what I'm saying. But if you give them time, so let them get married to the ones who are done with the school, and leave those ones also complete their school. They will have also better partners in the future. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
Sorry for interruption. The Zoom is limiting us, and it is saying 1 minute we'll end the call. I have shared another link on the chat so that we can go there.
Okay, sure. Let's use the link on the chat and then rejoin the call.